Hello everyone, my name is DEMOMAN 4. Many times when people are playing DEMOMAN for the first time, or just playing in general, they will ask themselves a lot of questions, and I can't blame them. Team Fortress 2 is a huge game, and the DEMOMAN himself as a class is much more confusing than all the other classes. But fear not, for I am here to help answer those questions. This video will be covering the 4 main sword choices: the Eyelander, Claymore, Persian Persuader, and the Toby. The Scotsman Skullcutter, Stock Bottle, Caber, and Pain Train aren't on this list because their functions are not designed to be used like the other 4 swords. Those 4 are for another day. Let's begin. First, let's cover the Eyelander. The stats for this weapon include 37% longer melee range, and every melee kill adds a head to the counter. As the head counter increases, the player's base speed increases by 7.5% and the health by 15 HP per head. Once the player reaches 4 heads, the buffs are no longer granted. Also, if the player kills an enemy who is also using the Eyelander with the Eyelander, the player gains 1 head for the kill and also the enemy's heads as well. The passive effects include no random critical hits, a slower deploy and holster time, pulling out and putting the weapon away, and 25 less base health. In practice, this weapon is great. The way the Eyelander works is called high risk, high reward, meaning when a player uses this weapon they are in higher danger, and in return for survival and killing is granted great power. The base damage of the Eyelander is 65 damage. A critical hit with the Eyelander is 195 damage. This means that you can kill a scout, engineer, sniper, and spy in 2 hits because they all have health below 130. This is important for all the swords, but especially the Eyelander because they all have low health and low attack when not teamed up with other teammates. So you can avoid the other classes and pick off these ones until you reach the 4-head milestone and can attack the other classes without the higher risk. If you are skilled at using shields and their charges, this even makes the Eyelander better. When you use the charge and charge, you gain a critical hit on impact after about 60% charge, aka just simply long range. On impact, you do 50 damage plus 5 damage per heads to up to 5 with the charge and charge. This means at long range in combination with the critical strike you do 245 damage. With 5 heads you would do 270 damage. That's a lot. With the Splendid Screen you do 85 on impact plus 8.5 per heads up to 5 heads. That means at long range impact in combination with the critical strike adds up to 280 damage, and with 5 heads that's 322 damage. That's crazy. This weapon was clearly designed for primarily Demo Knight. Although the head-related shield buffs and the overall stats of the sword make for an amazing weapon for full Demo Knight and half Demo Knight, it is very weak when it comes to being used in combination with a sticky bomb launcher and grenade launcher. When you play using a stock Demoman loadout, your melee is rarely out. That's a problem for the Eyelander. It needs a lot of attention. It's like the girls on Tumblr. When it doesn't get attention, it does nothing but be a nuisance. The Eyelander does this through its risk factor. The weapon is good because it rewards you for using it, but if you don't use it, it takes away your health and a chance to get a random crit when you do need to use your melee. My advice to you is use the Eyelander when your team is doing well and the other team doesn't pose enough of a threat to the point where you can't even get a melee kill. This can be very annoying because then you can't get that reward. Also, only use the Eyelander when in combination with a shield, and either a grenade launcher or boots. Next up is the Claymore. The stats are 37% longer melee range, melee kills refill 25 health and 25% of your charge meter, and while active, the user is 15% more vulnerable to all damage. Also, once again, no random critical hits. This weapon is actually not that bad at all. It can be useful when paired with a grenade launcher or boots and a shield, even with a regular Demoman loadout. This is because the big downside, the damage vulnerability, is only affected when the weapon is active. The plus 25 health makes for close-range combat victories more rewarding than just normal close-range combat victories with the stock, because you get 25 health instead of nothing. Also, when using a shield, you get defense bonuses from fire and explosives, and if you're using your shield with this weapon, the passive effect isn't really a huge problem, because those damage resistances cancel out some of that damage vulnerability. This weapon is useful in a lot of grounds. It's just that damage vulnerability that can get you at times. When you're playing regular Demoman, this can be a real pain in the butt. My advice to you is use the Claymore when you're playing Demo Knight or just regular Demo when playing offensively. This is because when you're playing offensively on the field, it's more important to be doing damage and staying alive for a bit, and with the bonuses like the 25 health and the 25% recharge rate, This can keep you alive and keep you doing more damage for just a little bit longer. Tough Break did a doozy to a lot of weapons, and the Persian Persuader is no different. Ever since June 23, 2011, also known as the Uber update, the Persian Persuader has stayed true to its stats, except minor changes like not being able to receive ammo from dispensers or the cart, until the Tough Break. Now, the stats are a larger melee range, deploy and holster time is slower, ammo boxes collected to give charge, melee hits refill 20% of your charge meter. Yes, you heard me, melee hits. The downsides are minus 80% max and max primary and secondary ammo, and no random crits. This weapon is madness. You charge more than Trump fires people. This weapon is only useful when used with a full Demo Knight loadout, meaning boots and shield. The minus 80% max ammo on both primary and secondary weapons is the reason behind this. The stats for the damage is the same as the Islander, and same goes for the Claymore and the half the Toichi. The only difference is that the bonus damage from collecting heads to the shields are only active with the Islander. Someone who's good with charges, this thing is so broken. Since the upsides both have to deal with charge, using it with anything besides Demo Knight doesn't make sense. The Tide Turner refills 75% of your health and on melee kill, and on the Splendid Screen recharges your meter 50% faster, so in combination with either of those, you can practically charge every 5 seconds. This weapon, as of right now, is the best sword if the user is skilled with the shields or skilled with full Demo Knight in general. My advice to you is practice with the Persian Persuader on maps that you know that you're good at, and if it works, then use it regularly, but if it doesn't, it's okay. It's not for everyone. Also, make sure that in advanced options that make a sound when charge is full is on, or else it can really screw you over. And when using this sword, don't use the charges cautiously like you usually would, because they're more expendable when using the Persian Persuader. Overall, this weapon should be used when charging takes priority over survivability. Did this video help? I hope it did. The reason that the Half Toichi was not in this video is because the video is getting too long. If you're an aspiring demo man, subscribe for more helpful tips. The music used in this video is all from a game called Undertale and was made by Toby Fox. Please don't sue me. Links in the description for the music and the game downloads. The next video I'll be covering is the 3 sealed choices. Thank you for watching.